Good day everyone, you are welcome to today's tutorial. In this tutorial, I want to show you how to use index and match function in Excel to retrieve data. This is very useful when you want to retrieve specific information from a large data set. For instance, I have list of students here and their performance in different subjects. So if I want to just look at one student, for instance, I can just come here and select any of the students, and all the performance or mark scored by the student in all the subjects will be displayed here. So how do you do that in Excel? This is what I want to show you in this tutorial. So let's get started. In this example, I have list of students in the class and I can see the score, each student score in each of the subjects. Now if I want to see the score of a particular or specific student in all the subjects, I can easily use this. And this is very useful, especially exam bodies or institutions for computation of results. And it has other usefulness in business and other area. To do that, the first thing to do is to input all the students' name. And to do that, just come here. As you have designed your table, come here to input the student name, and that can be achieved using data validation function. So click here, come to data, and come here, you see data validation. Then click on data validation. This will open data validation page. Then under validation criteria, allow, click here and click on list. So it means it should allow list. Then here, which is source, click on here and select the name of the students. So which means we are selecting from the first one to the last name. So after doing that, click on OK. Now if you come here and click on this drop down, you can see that all the names of the students has been captured, so that if you want to see the information about this Otohinoi, you can select it. If you want to see information about Onotu, you can select it. So let's move further. Now, for you to be able to just select a student's name and be able to see the score of that student, we have to use index and match functions. So to do that, so just select any of the student name. Let's say we are selecting Adaviruku. So come here, click here and enter this function is equals to index of then the array. So the array, it will be the whole table, which is B7 up to H17. So it has been selected. So put comma. Now we want to input the student's name, which is the roll number. And to do that, we are going to use match function. Put match of now the lookup value. So this lookup value will be the students we've selected, the name we selected for L6. So which is equal to this one. So it has been selected L6. Put comma. Now the lookup array. The lookup array will be the column of the student's name. So it will be C7 down to C17. That is the column that contains the student's name. Now the put comma. Now the match type. The match type is usually to put 0. Then close brackets. Now there is something we need to quickly do here. All the array value, remember to make them fixed, and that one can be done by inputting $sign here, put the $sign, that make it fixed so that we will not be duplicating it for others. So dollar symbol here, also put dollar symbol, and here put dollar symbol. So this is the first part of it. So bring your console back here. We are done with the row number, which is from column B7 to column H17. So the second aspect of the formula is the column number. And the column number, what we are going to do is that we want to match the subjects with the information under each of the subject from here to here. So that's what we want to match now. And to do that, we are going to use match function. So type match of. So the lookup value will be the subject, this one. Then put comma. Then the lookup array will be from this B7 to H7. So you don't need to select the whole array because it's only the subject that you want to merge. Then put comma. This time around, also the match type is equal to 0. Then close the brackets. Similarly, don't forget to put the $sign because the value is going to be fixed. So input the $sign here. Now, finally, close the brackets. Then click on enter. Now, let me increase the font so that you can see it clearly. Let's say 16. Yes, you can see that for VLOOKUP English, if I come here, VLOOKUP English, you can see 85. English here, 85. Now, what to do now is that instead of typing the formula again, just click and drag. It will calculate for the rest. This is it. So it has calculated for the rest. So now, if I select another student, for example, let's say I choose Onono. Once I choose Onono, the score by Onono will come out automatically here. If I change the name of the student, let's say to Omei, you can see this is Omei and this is the row for Omei. You can see that once I choose any student, the score of that student under each subject will come up automatically here. So this is very useful, especially in exam result computation. If, for instance, if I choose Ahwaiza, you can see immediately the scores of that very particular student will come up. So this is very useful, the index and match function, to retrieve specific information from bulky data. If I want to print the result of this exam for a particular student, for instance, I want to print for this student called VLOOKUP, I will just come here and choose VLOOKUP. You can see his result. And another beautiful thing is that you can interchange the subject here and the corresponding value will change accordingly. For instance, if I change here to English and I change this place to maths, you can see it will change accordingly. So changing the subject, the arrangement of the subject does not matter. So once you inputted this formula correctly, when you change the subject, the arrangement change accordingly. So if you come back here and, for example, let's change it to Onono. When you select the student called Onono, all the score of that student from this data or table will be summarized here for that very particular student. Thank you for watching.